All right, now we're on the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution actually had two phases to it. The first phase beginning around between 1760 or 1780. Now, a lot of things happened during this short time period of the first phase that really set the motion for everything else to come afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of the things that really set everything in motion, and then we're going to talk about it. First of all, that's when you had the advent of a modern banking system. So you had low percent loans for corporations. Then you had Lloyds Coffee Shop. Which is now known as Lloyds of London. Now, Lloyds of London was an insurance company that reduced the risk of a lot of corporations during this time. So now, since the risk was reduced and you had lower interest on loans, more corporations were more open to investing in inventions and innovation. Now, the next thing you're talking about that really set a lot of things in motion was the advent of the steam engine. Of course, you know, this was the beginning of locomotives, cars, and all kinds of other inventions that stem from locomotion. Now, we're also talking about there were new technology for steel. Now, these things together created an atmosphere that really sparked a lot of growth and interest in this time period. It also sparked a lot of multimillionaires that took advantage of it at this time. Now, we got the modern banking, Lloyds Coffee Shop or Lloyds of London, steam engine, and we also had the power loom, which improved the textile industry. Had to do with textile. Now, all of these things were leading up to a better system that, how can I put this? It created a euphoria at the time of invention and creation and growth and progress. So that's the first phase. Now the second phase, let's talk about the second part. Now, I had the steam engine on there, but actually the steam engine, when you're talking about the steamboat, the locomotive was actually came into play during the second phase. Now, the second phase of the Industrial Revolution. Now, at this time, you're talking about a time between 1840 and 1870. And of course, we're talking about, this is going to go up to the 1950s, but you also had the invention, which is the locomotive, which was created by Stephenson in the 1860s, somewhere around up in there, over in England. Now, other things that really sparked the growth of steel was new innovations in steel, which made steel even cheaper. So we had steel innovations. And we also had, keep the same, change the color here, keep the same color. And we also had, of course, the locomotive, railroad. Now this sparked rapid growth, because now instead of a horse and buggy, you had a power device that was taking you from one state to another, or either from one end of the country to another. So you're talking about massive progress in a short period of time. Now you're also talking about the improvement of factory work and going away from hand tools to machine power tools. Then you also had the assembly line. I mean, you had all of these elements working during this time period to make growth exponential and very fast. Now, some of the people that really benefit from this time period, you know, household names. It's time to change this eraser, I see. First one we're going to talk about Dale Carnegie. Get a pen here. Dale Carnegie. Of course, we know he was a steel man. So he made all of his fortunes in the steel industry. Of course, as you've just seen, the innovations in steel were constantly improving, and also all of the new inventions like the locomotive, the steam engine, the factories, the assembly lines required steel. So this is a great industry to be in. So he's one of the visionaries that saw this coming and got into the steel industry and became a very wealthy man. Now the next name we all know, Rockefeller. Is it Rockefeller. Now, Rockefeller made his fortune in oil and steel. Rockefeller made his fortune in oil and steel. But it's basically oil and the railroad. Okay. Now the brain cramped up for a second. So during this time period, there was constantly years and years of laying railroad. So you're talking about the steel. So you got the steel industry, railroad, and oil that was used to power the steam engine. So these two made a fortune during that time. Of course, Rockefeller was the richest of all during that time. And that money is so much that he had so much money during this time that I'm sure the money, as a matter of fact, I know the money has been passed down to his family generations later. So this is what happened during the industrial age, and this concludes what happens during the industrial age. Next age we're going to go to is the distribution age, where we're going to talk about how this segued into becoming a global economy. So I'll see you in the next module.